Hi everyone, welcome back. I know that many of you had been waiting these sneakers, so here they are, finally. In this episode you're gonna see them together with Invincible 2 from Nike. And here we have the unboxing. Like always, feel free to pause the video every time you need. In this shot we can see some of my sizes in different brands and also a closer look of this label. I didn't find anything else in the box. We can see here both of them, and we start with the left foot. If you are interested in cushioning in general, you should pay attention to this part. We can see here the silhouette of these sneakers. It's been a while since I didn't find something nice in Adidas, and this pair, I actually like it. They do resemble with Ultraboost 21 and 22, but these ones, they are a bit more refined in my opinion. Although many of you will believe that they might be mass cushioning these sneakers, well, it's not the case. It's Adidas, so it's not the case. The midsole in them is very chunky on the exterior. In the interior it's not the same thing. I will try to leave a rating for different parts of these sneakers just to get yourself an idea how good they are, more or less. To be fair, the upper on the sneakers is one of the best that I've seen so far in sneakers in general. In this shot we can see the labels that are coming with these sneakers, at least on this pair, and like I said before, if you need, just pause the video. I will try not to spend too much time with this. The midsole feels a bit more rigid than in the past, very similar with the one from Ultraboost 21 and 22. And this makes them a bit more polyvalent in general, so even if you have a bit more weight, you'll still be able to use these sneakers. But not everything is perfect, so in this shot we can see the sole. Well, here it's getting a bit tricky. I didn't like it very much, this sole. As you can tell, it's extremely thin. It has exposed boost foam, a little bit more exposed than in the past. And the only improvement that I notice, I think, is the compound. Feels more rugged, this one, although it's thinner. Like I said before, I hate this new trend with thinner and thinner soles, that it will affect the longevity of the shoe. I don't know why will anyone be happy with this. Please notice the thickness in comparison with my finger. How thin is that sole? And they cannot say that they are doing this only for the planet, because it's not true. You will use more pairs of sneakers in the future because they won't last. So how is that better for the planet? I don't see. On the heel I noticed that it's a bit softer, that rubber. In this shot we can see the internal label. And here we have the insoles. The thickness on them is at limit. I like it this way, but could have been a bit thicker. And it feels a bit more firm than in other sneakers. I also like the texture of this insole because it doesn't slide. In the shot we can see the footbed. I like it this way. Finally they understood how they should make this footbed, but like I said before, the footbed, it does feel rigid because of that foam not being as soft as in the past. The tongue has around 3 millimeters or so. And in these sneakers I didn't have any issues with that. I like it this way. The end of the heel is okay, I didn't have problems. They don't drop my heels at all. The padding on them is right on point. Maybe only the material, I wish it was a bit better, but yeah. To be fair, in this particular pair I didn't find any issues with the stitching or the gluing. In the shot we can see the size of these laces and also a better look of the upper and the cage. We can see here the thickness of these tips, 1 millimeters and 7 millimeters for the laces. As you can tell, they are flat laces and they are a bit thinner in comparison with what we've seen in the past, but they feel good quality at least. The elasticity on them is right on point in my opinion, it's not too much and I like it this way. In the shot we can see the cage, the tongue and in general the upper. To be fair, I didn't have any issues with the tongue this time, nor with the upper, and also the cage is well made, so they finally made it as it should be. The thickness of the upper is around 3.5 millimeters. They do have a sock fit, the sneakers, and I like this kind of tongue on them. So the upper has a good amount of elasticity and also very breathable, as you can tell. That is why I said they probably are the best right now with this upper for me, at least. In the past I did have problems with the cage. This time it's not the case. It doesn't dig anything into my instep, so finally they did it well. About the twisting and bending in these sneakers, I noticed that it's a bit too easy to do it, so I wish it was more rigid in that matter. Basically in this shot I'm trying to show you how much foam you have inside. This is what you get inside. Where you see my finger, there is where the foam starts actually inside. The rest of it is just outside. Of course, to this you'll have to add also the thickness of the insole, which I didn't do it. I don't usually do that, but you know it has 5 millimeters, so you just add 5 millimeters more. Yeah, well, in this test I don't expect to have any kind of chemical protection, so I hope it doesn't have it actually. All the water goes inside, so no problems with that. They are not protected for rain, for example. Hopefully they won't have any PFAS inside. Here we can see the weight of them. To be fair, I wish they were having more weight and better soles, but maybe it's just me. We can see the size of my feet and also of these insoles, and I think they are true to size and they fit very well to my feet. My feet are just a bit more wider than these insoles, which is normal because inside you will still have plenty of space from the upper. So for those that they don't know what is the best size for them, in general the rule of thumb works very well, so you can try that if you want. In this shot we can see the arch that I have and the instep that I have, just to get yourself an idea how it looks in my feet. This shot will be in real time because I wanted to show you how easy it is to take them in your feet or not. I feel that the opening is wide enough in my opinion, so you won't have issues being too snag for your feet. Having them for a few seconds in my feet, I can notice that they have a few millimeters more than in the past, but they still lack having more in comparison with other sneakers from these days, basically. The first pair that comes to my mind is the one from New Balance 1080 version 12, for example, or Nike Pegasus 39, 40 even. About the stability on them, it's good enough. Maybe on the heel is not the best, but still it's not a problem in these sneakers. I like it actually. So pros and cons for these sneakers. As pro, I like the colorways. They usually come more during the year. I like the silhouette. I like the upper very much actually. They look a bit more long lasting than the competition, except here maybe New Balance 1080, which they do have a bit better soles than these ones in my opinion, and also slightly better cushioning. I like it. The cage feels sturdy enough. Hopefully that one won't change in the future. I like the laces and I like the midsole. Obviously it is an improvement over the older one, so of course I like it a bit better, this one. Now cons. For cons, first of all, the price at 200 euros or $190 is way too expensive for what they are, in my opinion. That is just my opinion. Again, the soles, they shouldn't be under 4 millimeters. The internal midsole, it should have at least 25 millimeters, both in forefoot and also the heels, at least, if it doesn't have more. I don't like that they don't have any reflective materials. That is good for your safety at night or at any hour actually. And this will be it. Here we can see a size comparison with Invincible 2. I brought this pair for myself and I will be using this pair in the future in other videos to make a comparison with them. I know that many will say those sneakers are not the same, why you are comparing them? Well, that's my point. Actually, the Nike are max cushioning, and look at that midsole and the size of the one from Adidas. Adidas look bigger, but in reality it's not, you know, it's just outside. That's why I'm trying to make my point here, to see how many people will get fooled by that midsole, that huge midsole that you can see in Adidas, right? In reality, Nike has 2 times the thickness of the Adidas in this case, or almost. You can feel it, that actually is plenty of foam under my feet in Nike, and in Adidas I don't get that. It's not even close to that. Again, in this shot we can see the size comparison in those midsoles. I know that many of the customers won't know that, and they will get fooled and they will just buy a pair of sneakers because the midsole that they see outside. This already happened with Ultraboost 21 and 22. Those the same, they were having big midsoles outside, and inside you just don't get that. And I'm not saying that the Nike is the perfect pair in this case, because it's not, and more of that in the future. You will see it in other episodes, and you will understand why I'm saying that, and I don't recommend them actually. But more of that story, you will see it in the future with a better explanation. So yeah, here we can see the Invincible 3. This is the next pair that you're gonna see on my channel. I decided to add this extra footage for those that they made it this far, so thank you guys for being here. I hope you'll get yourself an idea how they will look if you are using casual pants. So do I recommend them or not? Obviously yes. I did like them. They can be improved, of course, but I still like them the way they are. And I think it's time for saying goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this episode or this channel, please consider to subscribe. Have a nice day, take care of you, and stay safe.